This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
The Colorado Republican Party called for all LGBTQ flags, all pride flags, to be burned. To be burned. I want to say that again. The Republican Party of Colorado yesterday called for all LGBTQ flags in the state of Colorado to be burned. The chairman of the Colorado Republican Party called LGBTQ advocates godless groomers. June is Pride Month. Pride Month, recognizing our LGBTQ American brothers and sisters. And the Colorado Republican Party comes out with a message like that to kick off Pride Month. Burn every rainbow flag you see. Burn every pride flag. Now, clearly, this is an incitement to violence. And I have no doubt that during the month of June, there will be pride flags burned. But as importantly, more importantly, my God, look where my former political party is. And I don't think for a chance that the Colorado Republican Party is any different than other state Republican parties. Look how far my former political party has come in their hate, in their intolerance, in their radicalization. Go back 6, 7, 8 years, you'd hear me say plenty of things questioning the LGBTQ agenda, questioning many elements in the LGBTQ agenda. But I can't imagine ever calling for violence against our fellow Americans. I can't imagine, even back then, the old Joe Walsh, when the old Joe Walsh wasn't quite as woke, a lot as woke as the new Joe Walsh. I can't imagine ever, even back then, calling for violence. That's what this is. When you say that every pride flag should be burned, that's a violent act. You're calling for violence. I do say often, and it saddens me and troubles me, but I do say often how my former political party has become radicalized, how these leanings have always been there, leanings based on fear, and how demagogues like Trump came along and Trump's cheerleaders in the right-wing media world came along and all took those basic fears and confusions and angers and resentments and confusion and lack of understanding in the Republican Party base. And Trump and all of his right-wing media cheerleaders inflamed those fears day after day, lied to those voters day after day, to the point where we're at where we are now, where you have a state Republican Party quite literally and publicly calling for a violent act. I mean, the Colorado Republican Party might as well have said, punch any LGBTQ activist you see. It's not that far removed. Burn every LGBTQ flag you see. Is it that big of a leap to go from burning the flag to punching a transgender American in the face? So I think this, again, because I come from that world, I come from the world of the Republican Party base, I will always try to engage with these people, most of whom are radicalized now. And I speak with and engage with hundreds of them every day, and most of them are radicalized now. But I'll continue to try to, as much as I can, help these folks, help them gain an understanding, help them abate their fear, maybe even help them get out of this MAGA thing they're in. But for the rest of us who can't and shouldn't do that, what's important is to put this information out there. This is ugly. What the Colorado Republican Party did, calling LGBTQ activists, calling transgender Americans godless groomers. It's ugly. This is gross. This is ugly. This is cruel. This is bigoted. This is utterly intolerant. But this is what you need to see. This is what I need to see. This is what every American needs to see, because every American needs to see and understand where the base of my former Republican Party is. Yes, I'll spend every hour of my waking day trying to engage these folks and convert these folks. But this needs to be defeated. And the way we defeat cruelty and bigotry and hate like this is to be aware of it, is to know what we are up against, is to, you can't defeat something unless you know what that something is. Burn every pride flag in Colorado. That's what Colorado's Republican Party said publicly yesterday. Put that out there. Share that. And defeat that. I'm Joe Walsh. Thanks for listening. White Flag with Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh, whiteflag@gmail.com. One word, Joe Walsh, whiteflag@gmail.com. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.